Hi guys, my name is Alexandra and welcome to Creative 404. Today I got a little package. Well, if you came from Marna's channel, you already know what package this is. This is a beginner package for someone who is just starting out on making doll face-ups. And I wanted to go through all the pieces of this for you and explain how they're used. So, hi guys, my name is Alexandra and welcome to Creative 404. In today's video, I'm going to go over some basics to making doll face-ups, some of your basic supplies. This is from... Hi guys, my name is Alexandra and welcome to Creative 404. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the basics to... Hi guys, my name is Alexandra and welcome to Creative 404. In today's video, I'm going to show you the basic supplies needed for creating a doll face-up from a professional artist perspective. I'm actually a professional artist. I've been paid as an artist for over 15 years, maybe 15 years, about 15 years. I've studied art as I got my Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. It actually took me maybe 6 or 7 years for a 4-year degree because I took a lot of extra art classes that were just super fun to do. And I also did a lot of art classes in high school, middle school, elementary. So I've always been an artist. So I got a bit of knowledge to show you. So give me a second and I'm going to show you the first thing that you're going to need. A drop cloth. I have a drop cloth, so you have to get your area nice and clean. So using a drop cloth to kind of have a little hobby area for you is a must-have. You gotta have a nice area in which to make a mess, especially if you're living in an apartment or someplace where you don't want your fine furniture to get all messed up. I have a craft table, so I don't really mind it getting messed up, but I want it to last me a while. So using a drop cloth is very handy because it protects the surface of your work area. You also need it so that you could just clean it up real easily. It is not that bad to do a cleanup when you have a drop cloth in place, because then you can just chug it into a washing machine if you need and get going. What else do you need? Mr. Super Clear. Yes, we have Mr. Super Clear. It is a go-to thing that is much needed for most face-ups. You can use Dull-Cote or any type of clear sealant, but Mr. Super Clear is known to be very easy to remove and protect plastic surfaces. It also works really good on vinyl. So a lot of people who do a lot of the Monster High OOAKs can use the Mr. Super Clear. A sketchy book, and a pencil. I particularly prefer the 6B or the 4B pencils because they have very soft lead, and I love this particular drawing paper because the paper has a lot of tooth. So when you're sketching on it, it's really nice and easy to make your beautiful designs. So this goes into planning. Planning what you're going to do for your doll is a must. You gotta plan. Otherwise, you're just going to be making a mess and always restarting what you're doing. Pastels. And an X-Acto blade or any type of utility knife. Pastels are great utility knife is so that you can shave the pastels and get a fine powder. You can also use sandpaper, which is an optional tool. Okay, the next part is one or two options, or you can do both. You can either use colored pencils or paints. I particularly like the fiber cast colored pencils. I have the Gold Fiber Aqua watercolor pencils. This is the 24 count, which gives you a lot of different options to do. And then you have this Liquitex Basics. It's actually an old set that I have that I'm giving away to a friend of mine. So I'm going to start with I'm going to start with the watercolor pencils first. You have easy watercolor pencils are the easiest way for a beginner to draw any type of eyelashes or eyebrows on their doll, as well as eyeliner if you'd like. So you pick your favorite color, you get it really sharp, and then you start drawing your eyelashes. It's really, really simple. But when you are using this is actually professional grade this is professional grade acrylic paints. So if you're using paints, you have to have a little bit more that goes into it. And I'll show you everything that goes into using paints to make them work really well for your doll. Now, one reason to use paints is because you get the smoothest texture possible when painting your eyelashes, eyeliner, and such. You also get a very vibrant, it's more full. It's fuller. It doesn't have these nicks and abrasions in it when you do it on your doll. Using professional colors is a must. I wouldn't recommend using the hobby ones, like the ones that you get in the little hobby bottles that are like $1 a piece. You can get yourself a nice basics pack for, I don't know, less than $10. I've had this for a long time. I've only used the white and black, and maybe some of the brown, but I'm giving this away because it's been in my stash for long times. But using professional colored paints is a must because they have the highest pigmentation. And if you have the highest pigmentation, you are going to get the best paints. Now, I looked around for a second because I had to show you my other paints. This is Liquitex. Now this is great if you're just starting out and you want a full set of paints. But if you want to get even more professional, these are the paints you must have. These are miniature painting sets for miniature Warhammer games and miniature war games in general, and any type of tabletop games. These are the go-to paints that you must have. I have a variety here. These are my browns that I'm currently using for a doll face up I'm doing. These are really great because they're made for plastics. You don't really need the extra stuff that I'm about to show you for these paints, but they are just so great. They're made for miniatures. They have the highest pigmentation. Not only is the highest pigmentation, but it's the softest pigmentation. So you have the smallest granules in the pigmentation so that when it's on a plastic surface, you get a very smooth and clean finish, which is great. But, however, something like this, which is $10 for a set, these range from $5 to $7 a bottle. So this will be something for those that are really into their face-ups and really want to get into it and really want to be a professional painter. These are the way to go. So what is this additives that I've been talking about? Additives are things that you put in these professional paints. Now these professional paints are made for a canvas, but when you're painting on plastic dolls, whether it be the ABS plastics or the vinyls, you really need to add some more mediums and varnishes to your paints to get the best quality from your paints. And let me show you those that I have. These are the 5 ones that I use most often with painting. 3 of them are optional, 2 of them are a must. Now for the must, I recommend the slow dry blending medium. This allows your paints to dry slower on plastics, and it minimizes the amount of bleeding or beading that happens. So if you drop water onto a table, do you notice how it turns into like these little beads? Well, imagine trying to get a very fine line for like an eyebrow hair and it beads up on you. You don't want that. So using a slow dry medium as well as a fluid retarder will prevent, what it does is it eliminates the surface tension a little bit and makes it so that it doesn't bead up as much as you see when you drop water on a table. It makes it smoother, it makes it easier on plastic. These are a must. The 3 optional ones is, of course, matte medium here, ultra matte medium, which is really nice. I love it. These 2 are optional. They're great because most professional paints come with a slight of a sheen or a glossy finish. I like to make my dolls look highly realistic and make it so that they look really nice. And when you have shiny eyebrows, you can't have shiny eyebrows. If you want shiny eyebrows, go for shiny eyebrows. But I don't want shiny eyebrows. I want eyebrows that look like they are nice and smooth. These are also great if you're doing airbrushing with your paints. I use airbrushing sometimes when I'm blushing my doll. And I like to use these so that I don't end up with a shiny doll. Last is the gloss. I got a gloss medium and varnish. It is my all-time favorite. I've had this for years. It is great for putting a little bit of gloss on the under eyelid to give it that wet feel. If you're making like an anime doll, put it on top of the eyelid to get a nice wet eye look. And then put it on the lips so that you got some luscious lips. When you're using paints, it's also good to have a Stay Wet palette. A Stay Wet palette and some Stay Wet paper is really great for keeping your paints wet, especially if you're taking your time and making every line as perfect as possible. Having a Stay Wet palette not only keeps your paints wet so they don't thicken up on you or dry up on you, but it also kind of thins out your paints a little bit and makes it a little bit easier to paint your doll. So you get a nice, smooth, refined finish. Paintbrushes. You're going to need paintbrushes for your doll. I have a couple of paintbrushes that I found on Amazon that I actually love, but I actually have one that's about $30 to $40, but it's my absolute favorite. This used to be a type of paintbrush that you can only get from Japan. I used to go, like 12 years ago, I used to have to go to resellers that would somehow either they lived in Japan, they were stationed in Japan, or they're doing something in Japan, and they would send these to other countries like Australia, Canada, UK, and of course America, which is where I'm at. This is the Camleo Pro Plata Artesia. I'll put a little thing, but it is 100 microns or 100 things. Mine is a little bit messed up. I need to get another one. These things, if you don't take care of them, will mess up. But this is the ultimate paintbrush you will ever need for painting lashes and eyebrows. Next, you'll need a makeup brush. The makeup brush is for your pastels. It is great for doing your blush work. If you're doing a lot of blushing, use a lot of Mr. Super Clear between and you'll get a nicer, finer finish and a darker coat if you want something to be a little bit darker and you're painting something pink and it's not coming out the most vibrant pink you want. Use a makeup brush is a pink you want. Use a makeup brush is a go-to. I actually have a couple of sable hair brushes that also work, but a makeup brush, cheapest and most effective option. Then I have this paintbrush. This is an AIT Products round brush. I'll leave a link in the description, but I get these from Amazon. I get them in sets of 3. They are fantastic. They're a cheap little brush, so they don't last very long, even when I try to take care of them. I use like the special soap and the paint remover stuff and all kinds of stuff, and they still break apart on me. No matter how hard I try to take care of them. I'm not going to go into care of your paintbrushes. Just know that if you use paint remover soap or like the pink soap, you will be very good. Just go to your local hobby store, pick up some soap in the paint section, and you're good. You're golden. You're sweet. Otherwise, soap and water works well. Just make sure to get it in the, just make sure to clean out the finial. The finial is the part where the bristles meet the brush part, the handle part. That can be a little bit difficult to clean. Just take your time, and if all else fails, use some brush restore and clean out that finial as much as possible, and your brush will be pretty good. Last, we have some must-haves. This is a Mr. Super Clear eraser that I cut into tiny chunks. Mr. Super Clear eraser is really, really great, or any type of spongy, I mean, they have alternatives to Mr. Super Clear eraser, but Mr. Super Clear eraser is the best. It is great for fixing mistakes. It's great for removing the entire face up. Just use a little bit of paint, like fingernail polish remover with a Mr. Super Clear eraser, and you can get that face up completely removed and ready to go. You're also going to need some little sponges, some cotton rounds, some cotton balls, some cotton Q-tips. I also have these Q-tips that have a very sharp point. I get them from the beauty supply store. They're for nails, but I find the little point is very good for cleaning up and removing face-ups and cleaning up mistakes. I saved this one for last. This is your secret weapon. This is your secret weapon for face-ups, and this is a peel-off magic rub eraser. It's non-abrasive, so it's one of those Mars erasers. It's non-abrasive, and it's super, super, super fine tipped. Like, I use a pencil sharpener to get this to be as fine as possible, so you get the tiniest tip. This one has a little bit of a dullness to it because I probably used it, oops. But this is really great for when you're making your doll faces and you start off with your pastels. So when you make eyebrows, this is the hardest thing to do, guys. Eyebrows, you use your pastels first. Then you go in and you use your magic eraser. Yes, your magic pencil eraser. Because this thing, you will go in and sharpen up those lines that came from your pastels. I actually have a filbert paintbrush in here for Marna, and you use the filbert paint. It's basically the flat round tipped paintbrush, and you use that to kind of sketch in where you want your eyebrows, and then you use this thing to basically get the best eyebrow shape you possibly can by erasing the excess pencils. It is also very great for using with these watercolor pencils. So say you made a line that's too long. We'll bring out your Mr. Magic Eraser pencil and erase those lines that have gone too far outside the scope of your eyebrow, or if you just want to remove a eyelash or something that just didn't look right. This thing is the bomb. So that is my little story on the basic materials you'll need to make your face up for your doll. I hope this was very handy. I didn't want to go too technical into it. I just wanted to show you some of the professional products that I use for making doll face-ups. And expect to see some doll face-ups on the tutorial because I want to do a lot of customized dolls now, and I really want to show you what I can do as a professional artist. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing or hit that bell for notifications. And if you have any questions, put it in the comments down below. I'm always answering any questions you have, and I'll be happy to help you out with your doll face-up needs. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.